I met a gypsy.
Cooper Webb, for example. You're a way better rider than Cooper Webb, in my opinion, in terms of like technically on the bike. He beat you in the championship, and you're a way better rider than him. So it's like there's so much more going on than just like even your ability to ride the bike, like the fitness level. Like this has like just multitudes of layers of complexity. So for me, and this is where it sort of sucks with the tickle thing, is like they don't give a fuck. It was like 4 years, your career's done, your name in the sport's done. And it's just like, dude, it wouldn't make sense for him to take this shit. He's not going to win as a result of it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean,
again, love
people,
tickle.
Yeah, I love Brock. But like you said about Cooper, I mean, we would all say that Cooper's probably not the fastest guy. I mean, I don't even know where you'd rank him fastest wise. I mean, raw speed wise, he's not the fastest, but
7th?
It's
8th?
The 450 game, or the 450 class is it's a strategic race. It's not, and I found that out last year. I mean, it's frustrating because I watched all those races over. I'm like, man, I had it, and then Cooper hunts you down and just steals the life right out of you. And I respect him because he races you fair, but he races you hard, and there's a fine line between that. And he man, I mean, he won last year because he's smart and he's mentally tough, and that's how he won that championship. And it's cool to see because he, like I said, he's not the fastest. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the fittest, but he gets it done, and I respect that because there's something in him that gets him and has the ability to win. So, and I've studied him a lot over this past off season, and that's something that I'm trying to learn, and I think that's something that I can get better on. So I think, like I said, speed's not an issue, and he's obviously got something figured out that we don't. So that's kind of what I've been studying. But back to the drug use and whatever, that stuff is, like I said, it's not going to make the biggest difference. Like if you're winning, you're going to win no matter what. You're not going to get beat by somebody that's getting 5th every weekend and somehow comes out and smokes you by 20 seconds. It's not going to happen in our sport.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. It's interesting to hear you talk about Cooper like that. Like, it's honestly pretty cool, man, because at this point, it's pretty hard not to have, like, some form of reverence towards that guy, because it's obvious that he's not the fast dude. It's obvious that he's not the guy that's got his bike the most dialed in all the time, but there's just some level of savagery that guy has in his head that, and I mean, you would have heard the saying from golf. It's like golf is a game that's played in a 4-inch strip between your ears. And it's like, that's sort of, what he's got. So it's like, for you, if you're like being fully honest and like grading yourself in that way and saying like what you've got to go, like what do you look at in your head as like, how do you attain that level of savagery that dude has?
Yeah, I mean, I could sit here all day and say I don't like him, but it's not going to help me. I think admitting to
you don't have to like him.
It's admitting to when you're or where you can be better. And for me, that's one place I feel like everyone in the class, because obviously he did it way better than everybody else. So I respect that from him, and he's a hard racer. And we've had a few run-ins this last year, which were not intentional whatsoever. And he was not. I don't think he was very happy with me, but I think for me, being younger and watching him and how he's done it, I can learn a lot. And I think if I can take that and put it into my racing this year, it'll be a different narrative after this year. So I'm hoping to change that. But yeah, I respect what he does, and I respect all the guys I race. I don't think there's any. So far, I haven't had really any bad blood with guys. So for me to come on and just say I don't respect anybody is probably not the best thing to do, which obviously is not true. But yeah, I like everyone in the 450 class race is good, and I have respect for him because our class is gnarly. Like moving up from the 250 class to go to the 450 class it's a different animal. I got a fake sense of reality when I was racing 250s and going into that class last year, kind of thinking I could go out there and potentially win races consistently. It's possible for sure, and I showed that I had the speed for it, but it wasn't it wasn't going to happen, I don't think, for me last year, just mentally. So, yeah, I respect him. That I think I gained a lot of respect last year. So, obviously, I'm not scared of him, and I think I feel a lot more comfortable going into this year racing those guys because I feel like I'm one of them, and I think I have an advantage on a lot of them just with speed and the way I ride the bike. So, but yeah, I respect all
I'd
of them,
completely
so.
I'd completely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I'd agree that in terms of like riding the bike itself, the speed, the ability for you to like go that speed comfortably, like there's some crazy ingredients in your, or like tools in your toolbox, you know. And it's funny that you said that, you know, like you got like a reality check, because let's look at your career. Horizon Award winner, back-to-back lights titles, then you get the HRC ride. It's just like if you're sitting watching like the Chase Sexton movie and you're drinking the Kool-Aid, it's just like, oh yeah, he's just gonna keep fucking doing what he's always done. Like, look at the way this kid's career's gone. But it's like Instagram versus reality, you know.
Definitely. I wouldn't say I've had it easy, but I would say things have came to me faster than I thought they were going to. Just growing up, I mean, throughout my amateur career, I got beat pretty much every race by the same guy, which was Austin Faulkner. And so it wasn't easy for me, but I feel like through all of that, I became more mentally strong, and I became just tougher in general. And it helped me a lot throughout the first, because when my first pro race, I broke my femur in practice, which was, I don't even count that as my first pro race because didn't even make it through practice. But it was tough after that. I mean, I got lapped my first outdoor moto by Zach Osborne, which I don't like to admit, but that I did. I got lapped. So I definitely made a lot of progress from there till now. But my 250 career was great. I feel like it went by really fast. And coming into the 450 class, I think a lot of people didn't really expect me to be anything that good. So I had to prove myself, and I feel like last year I proved a lot of stuff to myself that I can definitely run with these guys, and I'm not any worse than them speed wise, which I feel like I definitely proved. So yeah, last year was not easy. It wasn't easy on my mental side either. I was in some dark spots last year. After Dallas, the second crash, my face hurt so bad that, I mean, dude, if my window would have been open in my hotel, I might have just jumped out. I was so over it. Not actually, but I was so over it because I was like, dude, I don't make these mistakes usually. Like, my mind was not in a good spot. I was second guessing everything. I was not confident, not anything. And then finally got a little bit of momentum towards the end of the year. But I mean, last year was a big character building year for me because it was tough. It was tough on me. My dad, obviously, we go through a lot together, and we had some heart to hearts on the way home from those races, and yeah, it wasn't easy. But I've told a lot of people, even today, like in interviews, like I wouldn't change it because I feel like I've learned the most last year out of any year. So yeah, it was difficult.
Yeah, and the thing too, man, is just like to go back to jiu-jitsu. I said one day to one of my coaches, it was like summer, like a couple years ago, and I just got completely bashed by like all day. Just got bashed this whole time that I was in the gym. It was hot as balls, and I was just like laying on the mat, and then like full just like starfish laying on the mat, and then one of my coaches walked past and like laughed at me. And I was like, fuck, that was hard. And he leaned down and was like, did you come here for this to be easy? And I was like, nah, I guess I didn't. And it's like, I had this expectation that shit should have gone like easier and different. And then it's like, but when someone asks you like, well, did you come here for something easy? And you say no. And then it was like a little shift in my brain of like, actually, this makes sense that it's this hard.
Yeah, I mean, the saying is nothing that's easy is worth having. So last year, I mean, if you look at it that way, yeah, I mean, last year was hard, but I'm definitely feeling like it's made me someone a lot better. And it was weird. Like just last year, I had so many outside influences telling me what to do, kind of putting their 2 cents in, and at the end of the day, it just confused me. And I had a lot of dark days last year. So I'm definitely glad it happened because, like I said, I feel like I'm a lot better. And like, yeah, nothing worth having is easy. So I think if I can go out there and crush it this year, I'll be I'll be a lot happier. But yeah, it was a struggle. And like I said, 250 career was not easy, but it went by fast. So we're in the man's class now, and it's definitely got a taste of that last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, just dude, think about Cooper's first year on a 450, and then like forget what he's done now, and tell me, do you think he'd be a 2-time champ 3 years later? The answer is no.
No
100% of everybody is like, that dude fucking sucks.
I mean, watching him on a 250 and then going to the 450 class was like, wow, like, am I gonna ever like be able to make it to that class? Because it made him look horrible. But there's a lot of things that go on off the track too that a lot of people just don't see. And like, if you're struggling with your team, whether or not be a good team chemistry, you don't like the bike, I mean, that stuff plays a huge part into you on Saturday. No matter if you could be the best rider, the best fitness, everything, but if you're not mentally feeling it with your team, the bike, anything, there's a small little thing can go off, and you're going to be 10th place instead of first. So it's yeah, I mean, like you said, a team can change everything. I mean, look at him now. If you look at Cooper Webb now to when he was on a Yamaha, it's not the same guy.
Yeah, you're just like, how could this dude possibly ever win a race?
Yeah, I mean, I've been talking like I might as well get his autograph. I mean, it sounds like I just love the guy, but no, I mean, it's impressive to see what he's done. I mean, after this podcast, I might just have to DM him and ask if I can hang a jersey up in my room. But I gotta go race this guy in a month, so no, I said,
just smoke him then.
Hey, I mean, you kill him with kindness until you can go out there and beat him. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of the goal, but. Like I said, the class is stacked. I mean, you can go down the list, and there's 12 guys that can realistically win a race, probably more than that, actually.
Yeah.
So to wrap your mind around that and go into the season thinking you're just gonna it's gonna be a cakewalk and win everything is hard. But that's why we prep all season to do that. So I think we're gonna have a really competitive season, just like last year, maybe even better.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.